What's up, guys? This is Al Conway here from Conway Solutions, and welcome to week number 3 of the 2018 dollar cost averaging experiment. In today's video, I'll be giving you an update on exactly where we're at with our $100 a week investment. If you enjoy this video, please hit the like button. Feel free to follow my Facebook page or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do both if you're in a really good mood. And I'll leave the links in the description down below. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If this is your first time joining us, the concept of the dollar cost averaging, or DCA, experiment is quite simple. I invest $100 a week into cryptocurrencies regularly and systematically, regardless where price is at the time of purchase. Now, this is split into two parts. $50 goes into Bitcoin, and the other $50 goes into what I like to call coin of the month, where I buy $50 worth of a coin that's available on CoinSpot systematically every week at the same time for the entire month. Now, in the month of January, our coin of the month is Litecoin. Now, let's see how our investments are doing. Alright, so today's price, as of right now, which is about 2 p.m. Wednesday the 17th of January, one Bitcoin is worth about, as of right now, about 11,100, which equates to about $13,900 AUD. As far as our Bitcoin investment goes, $50 a week goes into Bitcoin, which means we've spent a total of $150. So on week number 1, that $50 got us 0.0025 Bitcoin. Week number 2, the price was a little bit lower compared to week 1, and that got us 0.00278 Bitcoin. Now notice that even though the buy price stays the same, we're actually getting a little bit more Bitcoin for the same amount of money. This is because basically a lower price means that you're getting something at a discount. Now, who doesn't love discounts, right? Week 3, as I'm sure many of you know if you've been paying attention to the market. If you haven't, that's cool. But the past couple of days have been a bit rocky. If you look at coinmarketcap.com, you'll see a sea of red. Just about everything is way down. I'm talking in the double-digit red figures. But this gives us, once again, even further discounts. Now, as you can see from our $50 a week, this now got us 0.0037 Bitcoin. And when you look at that compared to the other two, we're actually getting quite a bit more. So I know a lot of people tend to panic, especially if you're fairly new in the cryptocurrency space. A lot of people tend to panic during these downtimes, these seas of red, these bloodbaths, as some people like to call them. But you get kind of used to this. You know, it happens every few months. It's just kind of the cycle. I've been through many of them. I'm not going to pretend like I'm some seasoned veteran, but I've been in the game since about May of last year. So I've seen a few market cycles go up and down, and I'm just kind of sitting tight. I'm really not too worried about what the daily price action is, but the opportunity for me is that I just got some Bitcoin on a discount. So I calculated the counter values of basically what this amount of Bitcoin is worth now. The Bitcoin that we bought in week number 1 is now, in today's prices, worth about $34. So as you can see, we're at a bit of a loss there. Week number 2, that amount is worth about $38. As you can see, we've taken a little bit of a hit on the first 2 weeks, but in the long term, honestly, I'm not worried. If you're looking at things from a long-term perspective, the prices that you buy at way early on in the year really don't matter too much, because as I mentioned in the first video, one strict rule that I will be adhering to no matter what is I'm not selling a single cent of anything that I buy during this experiment. Now, week 3, of course, this is pretty fresh input. The transfer actually came through around 8 a.m. this morning, so it's worth about $48. So that gives us a total of 120 bucks. Now that means that we're down about 20% in terms of valuation comparative to the amount of money that we've put in. Once again, in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, this number, if you look at it in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 11 months from now, that's not going to matter too much, and neither is this. And if you stick with me and keep following on with this experiment, you'll see exactly what I mean. Now, moving on to the coin of the month, Litecoin. As of right now, it's about $228 AUD or 181 USD. Maybe try to get yourself in the habit of looking at things in US dollars, but just to keep things simple, I'm gonna put things in AUD just to make it a bit easier to digest and easier to read through the numbers and stuff. But get yourself in the habit of looking at everything in USD value. I'll talk about that more in a future video. For now, let's see how our Litecoin is doing. Of course, same as Bitcoin, $150 spent over the course of 3 weeks, $50 a week. Now on week 1, we got 0.14 Litecoin. Litecoin has gone down a little bit since then, down to 0.135, and then as of today's really low pricing, at 0.22. Now that's a great discount compared to that. That's about a 30% discount compared to the previous 2 weeks. Litecoin is historically quite a stable coin. It doesn't really move too much, but when the whole market is in a bloodbath, nobody's safe. Now let's see what our counter values are for Litecoin. So week number 1, in terms of today's values, this is worth about $32. As you can see, the following week, there was obviously very little price movement, and so that is worth roughly, now I'm not going to go too precise, I'm rounding down or up to whole numbers just to make it, once again, a bit easier to digest, but this works out to about $30. I actually just bought this maybe just a few minutes before making this video from CoinSpot. That is worth about 50 bucks. So this gives us a total of $112 is our current value. Now when you compare that to the 150 that we've invested, then we're actually down about 25%. Now, once again, same as always, I still believe that there's a lot of potential for growth in the future. I think these prices that we're seeing now, I don't believe we're going to see them for too much longer. I'm kind of hoping that things stay low for at least another week or two so we can take advantage of the nice discounts that we've got going at the moment, but we'll see what happens. The beauty of dollar cost averaging is that I'm not stressed about daily price action or daily movements. I look on my Facebook and my Twitter and all my social media feeds, and I see everyone is panicking over the sea of red that you see on coinmarketcap.com, but I'm really not too worried. I'm not cashing out right now. You don't lose if you don't cash out. If you just hold on to what you have, I mean, it really, I guess, it just comes down to how much you believe in the long-term future of cryptocurrencies. If you're like me and you believe very strongly that this is going to be the future, then this little 25% down, this isn't going to mean much in the future. It gives us a couple of months and we're going to be way up compared to that number, and these numbers probably are going to look tiny compared to what one Litecoin will be worth in the next few weeks, years, whatever. But the beauty of a long-term perspective is you don't really have to stress, you don't have to actively trade, you're not sitting there on your phone or your tablet or your computer just refreshing the page constantly every 5 minutes to see how much money you've lost. I'm not worried about that. I don't play that game. I used to. I tried a little bit of day trading here and there. Some of it was successful, some of it not so much, but the way it stands right now, I'm just happy to just cruise along, do what I do, and see where I end up in a year from now. My conservative approach to investments has served me fairly well. Last year, 2017, I made what I'd like to consider a life-changing amount of money, but that's not going anywhere either. I had someone ask me, or a few people actually, asked me earlier today if I'm personally affected by the massive dip that we're going through right now? The honest answer is not really. Now, why is that? Well, I don't have any plans to sell anytime soon, not for probably several months down the track. And when you sell your cryptocurrencies back to Australian dollars, US dollars, whatever native currency you're using, that is how you lock in your price. So whether you're way up or way down, if you sell, then you lock in that gain or that loss. So my portfolio, yeah, it's quite a ways down from where it was. My very nice looking number that I had at all-time highs is a bit smaller, but I'm not too worried because, well, for one thing, what I have left, well, I'm way up on my original position and my total money invested. But secondly, I'm not locking in any prices. I'm not selling anything for, at the very least, the first 3 months of the year. I'll see how the rest of the year goes. Sometimes it's healthy to take profits incrementally, at times that are appropriate to you and your personal situation, but I'm good. I've got my job, my steady flow of income. I have money sitting around that in case of some sort of change in my situation, I won't have to panic and sell out of my cryptocurrencies at a loss. Well, not a loss, but you get what I mean, because I can live without it. All the money that I have in there, I can go the rest of the year without touching any of it and I'll be fine. So I guess the moral of the story is that if you're currently down on your position, don't panic. Just leave it where it is. If you have some money on the sidelines that you're waiting to put into it, now might be a good time to buy in. Now, if you haven't invested yet, but you've been interested in getting in and you're just waiting for the right time, waiting for the dip, waiting for the discounts. It's always hard to call the tops and the bottoms of any market, but things are pretty low right now comparative to their recent all-time highs. So if you were thinking about getting in, now might be a good time to consider taking out a position. Whether that be you just put a bunch of money in at once, if you have a decent amount sitting on the sidelines, or maybe now's just a good time to start dollar cost averaging. If you want to follow me on this journey, hopefully it's a very lucrative one for us. So if you've made it this far, just want to say thanks for watching. I hope maybe you've learned a thing or two from me. If you liked the video, please feel free to hit the like button, follow my Facebook page and my YouTube channel, links in the description down below. Stay tuned for next week's DCA update video, and hopefully I'll have another one in between them to maybe share some tips and some insight that I've learned from my time in this space. I've got some new recording and editing equipment that I'm still learning how to use, so I'm super excited to bring you guys some better quality content in the not too distant future. But until then, this is Al Conway from Conway Solutions. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.